The 2024 NASCAR season is just weeks away from beginning, and before you watch this season, you should probably get to know who the drivers and teams are. Ross Chastain is in my mind one of the few actual championship contenders for 2024. Back again for his third season at Trackhouse, but this time with a new sponsor in Busch beer. He's looking to improve on his round of 12 exit and get back to the Final Four again in 2024, after unfortunately getting tamed by Rick Hendrick because of his Darlington move. Chastain will need to improve on his 2022 and 2023 to reach a championship, and if he can manage a healthy balance of aggressiveness and passiveness, expect to see the Busch Light number 1 in victory lane multiple times in 2024. If you told me this guy was running a development car for Front Row Motorsports in 2023, I would have believed you. The road course merchant himself was not at all seen on the road courses this year, and I truly don't think outside of when he was crashing I saw him on track. Austin Cindric is going to have to improve on pretty much every aspect from his sophomore season to make 2024 a success for him. Granted, it shouldn't be difficult based off his lackluster stats he put up in 2023. Cindric shouldn't be allowed to get away with posting back-to-back seasons driving for Penske where he doesn't sniff the playoffs, without some type of change. Although with his dad being Team Penske's president, he's all but guaranteed a cup ride there his whole career. Austin Dillon is coming off his 10th, yes his 10th full-time Cup season, and he's yet to earn a win in the series so far, with 4 fraudulent wins to his resume. In 2023 he finished a whopping 29th in the points, while teammate Kyle Busch secured 3 wins in the first half, showing the world once again it's not the equipment's fault that Austin Dillon struggles in the Cup Series. The only other notable achievement he had in 2023 was beating Kyle Larson in the competition for most DNFs. There's not much hope going into 2024 for Austin Dillon, and outside of a rain win or a super speedway win, don't expect to see the 3-car in victory lane for 2024. No idea how Josh Berry of all people got the 4-car, but here we are. In the Xfinity Series last year, Berry had his worst full-time season, getting 0 wins for the first time, as well as finishing second to last in the Xfinity Series playoffs. Berry also played Super Sub in the Cup Series, however, starting in 10 races for 3 different teams, where outside of a lucky break with a caution at Richmond to get a second place finish, and a few top 10s he wouldn't do anything notable. Joining the sinking ship known as SHR, in the flagship car, Berry will compete for the Rookie of the Year against Spire teammates Zane Smith and Carson Hocevar. And for Berry, I would expect a few good runs out of him, but nothing impressive, as he gets adjusted to Cup Series racing, and Stewart Haas tries to regain their footing in the Cup Series. I, for one, was just stunned that the Kyle Larson once again came up short multiple times in 2023, including when they got to Phoenix. After a season where if he wasn't winning, he was wrecking himself trying to win, Larson goes into 2024 with the same expectations he's had the last 3 years at Hendrick, to win races and compete for a championship. And outside of a random Joey Logano 2017-esque run, there's no reason to think he won't continue this success. Keselowski played bridesmaid on his own team last year, while teammate Chris Buescher would steal the show, and garner 3 more wins for RFK. Keselowski would improve immensely from 2022, however, even making the playoffs for the first time as an RFK driver, and finishing a respectable 8th in the points, cementing them as a possible top 4 team going into 2024. The goal for the 6 team is very simple for 2024, and it's just to find victory lane at least one time, and when it's not, to congratulate his teammate. LaJoie put together the best season of his career in 2023, getting his most career top 5s and top 10s, as well as his best points finish in 25th. But for the equipment he was driving, he always seemed to bite off more than he could chew, leading to a bunch of torn up race cars. Now going from a 2-car team to a 3-car team in 2024, LaJoie will try to continue on the good progress he's made so far in the 7-car, and with a little luck he could easily sneak into a restrictor plate win come the near future. Kyle Busch looked like a real threat for the championship early in 2023, getting 3 wins in the first 20 races, while over the next 16 races he posted an average finish of 20th in the clutch, leading him to drop from 3rd to an eventual 14th place points finish in his debut RCR season. The 8-car finding victory lane again in 2024 seems like a given, but if I had to guess, the only prize Kyle Busch truly wants is that elusive first Daytona 500, entering his now 20th attempt at winning the race. NASCAR's Golden Boy suffered his worst season in every facet of the imagination in 2023. Whether it be off the track getting injured early in the season snowboarding, or on the track where he got suspended for intentionally right-hooking Denny Hamlin, and posting his worst season so far in his Cup Series tenure when he returned, while also missing the playoffs. Elliott will look to get back to his 2022 form this year, as well as just getting back to victory lane and making the playoffs, just as he had the previous 6 years before 2023. And I would say a bounce-back season is all but in the cards for the Hendrick driver. Somehow the worst season seen in modern NASCAR history, whether it be on the track driving issues, or off the track liking meme issues, resulted in a ride upgrade for Noah Gragson, as he moves over to the SHR number 10, getting hired after he got cut from Legacy Motor Club following the Chicago street race for liking an insensitive meme. But before even doing that, I'm sure they wanted him gone, as in his Rookie of the Year campaign he wrecked every chance he got, and racked up millions in damage, usually racing for the always important 28th place. Gragson's performance in 2024 will largely rely on SHR's performance as a team overall. If the team falters, expect the 10 to, and they're starting off on the wrong foot for it, as they'll be showing up for race weekends driving a glorified test paint scheme. We're not going to beat around the bush here. Hamlin had one goal in 2023 and he ultimately failed, after hitting the wall at Homestead due to a power steering issue. Hamlin, now 43, is running out of chances to get his elusive ring in NASCAR, and the outlook for 2024 looks to be the same as every other year for the driver of the JGR number 11. Get a championship, and anything outside of that's considered a wasted season. And the only question now is if Hamlin can finally come through at Phoenix. After doing basically nothing for 2 years in a next-gen car, outside of a Coca-Cola 600 win in 2023, Ryan Blaney decided to go on a playoff Linsanity run and win 3 of the final 6 races en route to his first championship. If Blaney can maintain whatever type of speed was shown in the playoffs in 2024, he'll truly break out over the full season. And with Ford's new car sure to be an aerodynamic monster, there's no reason to think Ryan Blaney can't win multiple races and head back to Phoenix again in the Final 4. I had hopes for Chase Briscoe if anyone was wondering. He seemed like a playoff lock for 2023, and like the entire team of SHR, he would instead collapse, with crashes, a huge penalty, and an overall lack of speed leaving him 29th in points, just 2 positions ahead of the last full-time car, and no matter how bad SHR is, that's just embarrassing. Briscoe's 4th season at SHR will need to be an improvement, as outside of a win in 2022 and a deep playoff run, his tenure there has been nothing short of awful. And barring a sudden uptick in performance, expect much of the same inconsistency out of Briscoe for 2024. Kaz Grella gets his first opportunity at a sustained Cup Series ride. Driving the number 15 in 25 races for the now RFK-backed Rick Ware Racing, Grella's coming off a somewhat successful Xfinity Series campaign given the equipment he was driving. And in 2024 in the Cup Series, his goal should be to run as many laps as he can, and try to bring home as many clean cars as he can.
Loser! You're a loser! Are you feeling sorry for yourself? Well, you should be, because you are dirt! You make me sick, you big baby!
AJ Allmendinger missed the playoffs in his return back to full-time Cup Series racing in 2023, but it still wouldn't stop him from securing a win at the Roval and continuing his winning streak there. However, after one full-time season in the Cup Series, Allmendinger's going back to the Xfinity Series full-time, while continuing his Cup Series venture but in a part-time role for the colleague number 16. Allmendinger will go out and try to compete for wins in his part-time role, and don't be shocked if he breaks through and wins in another road course. In a shock to absolutely everyone, Chris Buescher would not only repeat his winning season that he posted in 2022, but he would also without a doubt have his best Cup season, and RFK's best season in over a decade, posting 3 wins at 3 different variety of tracks, as well as tripling his career high in top 5s, getting 9 in 2023. Buescher should be viewed as a playoff lock for 2024, and is very well capable of repeating his multi-win total from 2023. and if RFK can match or better their speed from the year prior, he could be viewed as a championship dark horse. The now oldest driver in the Cup Series, Martin Truex Jr. enters what is probably his final full-time season in the JGR number 19, looking for redemption from an absolute playoff disaster class, going from regular season champion to an off-brand version of Danica Patrick for 10 weeks, capturing an impressive 1 top 10 before his playoff points finally stopped carrying him at the round of 8 cutoff. The question now is if the Truex we saw over those 10 weeks is the same one that will be seen in 2024. It's highly unlikely though, so I would expect him to get another win or two, as well as a deep playoff run in his final season. Maybe his final season. NASCAR's newest qualifying merchant, Christopher Bell, captured another 6 poles in 2023, 4 of which coming in the playoffs, as well as 2 more wins to secure another championship 4 berth, where he would fail to see the end of stage 2 thanks to JGR giving him the brakes off the company car. In 2024, expect to see a Bell breakout, entering his now 4th year at JGR, as well as having the new Toyota body. He seems poised to make a run for the championship. I don't want to jump the gun here, but Harrison Burton might be cooked. Harrison Burton's sophomore year was somehow worse than his rookie year, getting lower top 5s, a lower average finish, and a lower average start, and somehow defying all the odds and taking a basically 4th Penske car and bringing it home P31 in the standings. And with every passing week it seemed like he bit off more than he could chew joining the Cup Series. For 2024, if Harrison Burton can first of all keep his ride throughout the whole year, and maybe sneak into the top 25 in owner points, I would consider that a win on the year. I watched most of the 2023 NASCAR season, through all the varieties of tracks and all the types of racing. And if there's one thing I can confidently say, it's that Joey Logano is washed. And I don't care about his even year nonsense either. A championship hangover is an understatement, as he lucked into a single super speedway win in 2023, as well as getting eliminated in the first round of the playoffs. In 2024, Logano is back in the same old 22, and will need to find the speed they couldn't get last year to keep up with his teammate. But even with the new body, I can't say I'd expect anything more than a repeat of 2023 from Joey Logano. Bubba Wallace was just a few inches away from clearing William Byron at Texas and winning the race, which would have made him the first 16 seed in NASCAR to make the round of 8, but it wouldn't come to fruition. Although he couldn't win like he did in 2021 or 2022, he still put up his best career season, making the playoffs for the first time as well as getting a respectable top 10 points finish. Bubba Wallace and the entire 23XI team looks poised to take a step forward and garner multiple race wins in 2024, and I for one will be here for it. Talk about getting robbed. William Byron had the most wins last year and was undoubtedly the best driver in NASCAR. Unfortunately, a Ryan Blaney Linsanity run and using up all his luck on late race restarts early in the season was the only thing that could stop his championship ambitions. And NASCAR's playoff system. Byron, fresh off his breakout year, will try to run it back on his dominance, but with how tight the competition is, and with Chevy's competition from the OEMs, it's gonna be tough for the 24 to repeat his breakout campaign. I truly have no idea who keeps giving this guy rides. Outside of a bump and run move to somehow win a race in the championship in 2021, thank you NASCAR playoffs, Daniel Hemrick has done absolutely nothing in his NASCAR career to deserve this cup ride for colleague. And if you ever went to the dictionary and went to the word mediocre and looked at it, a picture of Daniel Hemrick would be the first thing you'd see. A disaster class of a season seems more than in the works for the 31 team, and knowing I just said that, expect them to be your Daytona 500 champions. Michael McDowell did the impossible in 2023, and took a Front Row Motorsports car to a dominant win outside of a super speedway coming at the Indy road course, using NASCAR's desire to build a car that couldn't pass on those road courses to his advantage. However, when the team got to the playoffs, they got absolutely blown out of the water by the bigger teams, and to try and close up the gap between them, Front Row Motorsports is switching from the RFK alliance used in 2023 back to a Penske alliance for 2024. And with RFK being the top 4 team in 2023, it'll be interesting to see if the performance across the board improves or declines at Front Row Motorsports. And for McDowell in 2024, he'll always be a threat to win at the road courses and the super speedways. There's not much to say for Todd Gilliland, really. He might just be NASCAR's Mendoza line. He improved on his rookie season in 2023 by doubling his top 10s and improving his average start and finish, but he's driving a mid-pack car, so don't expect a playoff berth out of this team in 2024. And the best I would hope for is that Todd Gilliland continues his development and betters his 2023 stats. Well, after a decade of scratching and clawing his way to the Cup Series, and finally getting a top ride in the SHR number 41, Ryan Preece waltzed out there and put together the same type of season he had been putting together in the 37 car. Granted, SHR as a whole was a fancy Rickware racing team in 2023, but still. 24 is a big year for Ryan Preece. As with Stewart-Haas struggling for sponsorship and results, a downside seems on the horizon for them, and with this contract up at the end of the season, another repeat of 2023 could result in Preece being let go from the team. But sadly for the Ryan Preece fans out there, I don't see SHR waking up overnight and deciding to build faster race cars after 3 straight mediocre seasons. Taking over as the newest driver at Legacy Motor Club, John Hunter Nemechek is back for his first full-time Cup season since 2020. And after 3 years of destroying the competition in the Truck and Xfinity series, he'll be a lot more ready for this go-around. The team he's joining is also undergoing major changes for 2024, swapping from Chevy to the new Toyota body, and getting Family Dollar as well as Dollar General to sponsor for the full season. 2024 just needs to be a solid one for it to be a success for the 42 team, following the absolute joke of a season put together by Noah Gragson the year prior. As for the other driver at Legacy Motor Club, Eric Jones went into last year with high expectations following his 2022 Southern 500 win, as well as NASCAR Hall of Famer Jimmy Johnson buying into Richard Petty Motorsports. They would instead completely collapse in the first half of the season, sitting as low as 31st in points at one point. Yes, you heard that right. I don't think the 2023 version of this team is the one you'll see in 2024, however, and it shouldn't shock anyone to see Jones compete for multiple wins, as well as a playoff spot in his return to Toyota. Tyler Reddick's debut year for 23XI Racing went about as well as you could ask, capturing 2 wins and making the round of 8 and ultimately finishing 6th in the final standings. With Monster Energy back on board for 2024, Reddick should be viewed as a championship favorite entering the year, as in the series right now he's one of the most talented drivers, and he has the team and equipment for him to back it up in his sophomore season in the 45 car. Congratulations to the 47 on their Daytona 500. I truly don't know what else to say for 2023. It's the definition of irrelevance right there. 6 seasons at Hendrick and Alex Bowman outside of a luck-based 2021 Linsanity run has done absolutely nothing to show why he deserves this ride. Although he looked solid before his injury leading the points, when he came back he was not the same, limping his way through the season to an abysmal 20th in the standings. To beat the overrated allegations in 2024, Alex Bowman probably just needs to win a race and at the bare minimum make the round of 12. Just like his teammate Chase Elliott, a bounce-back season for the driver of the 48 seems like a sure bet. For the first time in NASCAR history, a driver has willingly left their ride to head over to Rickware Racing, as Justin Haley left Colleague following the end of 2023 for the always enticing 51 car. I truly have no idea what type of speed they'll have, as they seem to be working in a close alliance with RFK, but something tells me, I'm telling you, he's gonna luck into a super speedway win. It's so obvious this year.
Yeah, now we're talking! Yeah! Ouch!
This is talent, folks. The 18th place point result doesn't paint the full picture for Ty Gibbs, as last year's Rookie of the Year goes into his sophomore season driving for grandfather Joe Gibbs, looking to earn his first career win. And with the speed shown last year, the masses should prepare themselves for Ty Gibbs' supremacy. Jumping from trucks to Cup, top Ford prospect Zane Smith ditched Front Row Motorsports and Ford at the end of 2023 to join a development deal for Trackhouse, as well as being the 3rd Cup team for Spire Motorsports and competing for the Rookie of the Year. The goal of turning as many laps and finishing all the races should be painted inside his mind for 2024, as Inspire Motorsports equipment and his lack of experience, development should be the focus. In the exact same situation as his teammate, outside of the Trackhouse deal, Carson Hocevar is going to jump from the Truck Series to the Cup Series for Spire Motorsports, and will also join the Rookie of the Year battle. Hocevar ran 9 Cup races in 2023, and had a very impressive Bristol run, as well as dumping Ty Gibbs for no reason in the playoffs, while also being an absolute menace to his competition about 5 seconds into his Cup career. Hocevar will more than likely have growing pains in the Cup Series, and if I was a betting man I would take the over on 2.5 run-ins in 2024. He got outran by Ryan Newman and Rick Ware Racing Equipment in 2023. I mean, the best I can offer is a celebration if Jimmy Johnson gets a top 20 this year, but like, that top 20 might be far-fetched. He's got to get the top 30s first.
He's tied up by Green. Throws it back.
He threw up a prayer, it went in, and that's that. It was a lucky shot from a bum. I mean, we've seen bums hit lucky shots every now and then.
2024 will be Daniel Suarez's most important Cup Series season to date. As for the 3rd time in his career he is on the hot seat, and if he falters once again like he did in 2023, I can't see any way another top team takes another chance on him. Daniel Suarez is going to need a win in 2024, and to at least look present throughout the season. Otherwise, you could very well see a new driver in the 99 for 2025, in the names of SVG or Zane Smith. And that's the guide to the 2024 NASCAR season. Like and subscribe, folks. But before this video ends, I gotta throw in my predictions. First of all, Kyle Busch, he's winning the 500. I've never seen something more obvious. Book it, take it to like Vegas, get some sports bets. I'm not endorsing sports betting. I don't know if I'm allowed to do that on YouTube. I'm not though. Anyways, bet on it. I just said I wasn't allowed to. Next one, number 2, Denny Hamlin's winning the championship. It's obvious. That's it. That's just really obvious predictions this year. And when both of them are wrong, I don't want to hear anything about it.